This podcast is part of the 80s Ruled Network. Visit the 80s Ruled on Facebook for more 1980s awesomeness.
Seem like, John, I don't know if you've ever been to like a man's, like a gym, you know, we have a locker. There's a lot of dudes just butt-ass naked. Like, I don't know why you think I want to see you naked just because you're comfortable being naked. Put a towel on. Or there's a shower stall or a changing room there. Use it. And it's oftentimes the oldest, wrinkliest dude there too.
Typically, the less suitable you are to nudity, the more likely it is you will be nude.
Yeah, the more comfortable you are.
Like, I'm great. I'm glad you have great self-esteem. That's fantastic for you.
Happy for you. And I don't need to see your self-esteem.
Yeah.
I think it's because they don't care anymore. It's like, I'm not worried about this.
I'm sure you've seen a jar of pickles in your day. No big deal here.
It's like a green and withered. It smells like vinegar.
I said it was inappropriate nudity, didn't I?
Hey, welcome back to another episode of 1980s Now, a weekly examination of the importance of 1980s pop culture and its influence today. My name's Will, and joining me, as always, are my friends, and they're also my co-hosts, Kat and John. Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hey, in addition to his co-hosting duties here, John also hosts his own podcast, Gen X Grown Up. You should check that show out as well.
Thanks.
Hey, on today's show, we're going to review current news stories related to 1980s media, including whether Mike Myers masked up during the pandemic, whether Indy has cracked his last whip, and why ponytails are at half-mast this week.
Nice. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's what I write them. I get it my chest.
Really works out.
And after that, we're going to see whether or not we can endure the current top 5 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 and whether they hold up to songs that charted this week 40 years ago. So 1982.
All right.
They don't.
They don't.
We'll save you a lot of time.
There you go. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Like, wait, I want to know about the ponytails. What about the ponytails?
That's right. Stick around.
See what I have?
Ooh.
A ponytail.
In memoriam.
Okay. Hey, once again, it's time to...
Thank you for your cooperation.
Hey, we got an email here.
Oh.
An email from a Gen X listener who is now a 1980s Now listener who messaged us directly.
Wow, directly? I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah.
So they had to go through me.
What do the kids say? She understood the assignment.
Excellent.
Miss So writes.
Miss
Hey, what a sweetheart.
Hey, Will and Kat. Now, she knows how to reach you, John, so this is directed to Kat and myself.
Oh, it's just the two of you.
Just to Will and I.
Hey, Will and Kat.
Should I leave? Can I stay for this part?
No, I did ask her if you could hear it. She said it was okay, because she does make a comment about you. Don't tell John. I don't have the courage to tell John directly. No. Hey, Will and Kat, just heard the latest show today. Happy to hear that John will be a permanent third host.
Oh,
Hey, the three of you work great together. I found him, along with the rest of the gang, at GXG, Gen X Grown Up, about 2 years ago or so.
Oh.
And then I found you guys through them. I enjoyed the banter between all of you every week. Have a good one, Miss So. Thanks, Miss So.
Yes, thank you. Miss So. That's so nice.
And if you'd like to be our 74th listener.
Oh, good.
See what you did there.
Or another listener. Hey, you can write to us at will@1980snow.com. Okay, hey. Yes, and thank you, Miss So. That was really sweet of you to reach out to us. Okay, hey, let's get caught up on 1980s news. All right, hey, per Total Film, Halloween Ends, Big Time Jump will ignore where Michael Myers went. So in interviews with Total Film and Uproxx, the director David Gordon Green reveals why Halloween Ends, you know, the latest of the Halloween film, won't explain where Michael Myers was during the time jump following Halloween Kills.
I had to read that headline at least 10 times.
It should have been possessive, right? It should have been possessive.
Man.
Halloween Ends is Big Time Jump. No one would have sounded better, Well, if you don't know, John Carpenter's shocking 1978 film Halloween has spawned 12 films. Now you're wondering why you don't know that, because most of them are garbage.
You're right on it. You beat me to it. It's like yielded 12 films and nearly 5 good ones.
Nearly.
Well, Green is the latest filmmaker to take a stab at the franchise. His 2018 reboot is also a direct sequel to the original 1978 film. So it's basically retconned all those other films I just mentioned out of existence, canonically speaking, and brought back original film star Jamie Lee Curtis as, the final girl, Laurie Strode. Halloween Kills was the second film in the planned trilogy. That one was released last year. And now in October, we're going to get the final entry, Halloween Ends. Well, even though the end of this last film has Laurie eager to kill Michael Myers, because spoiler alert, he's still alive at the end. Oh, and spoiler alert, she's still alive.
Oh.
Although I think this is the one where she's in the hospital for most of the film, I'm pretty sure. While Anthony Michael Hall's running around saying evil ends tonight.
Yeah, I did hear about that too.
And Michael Myers is only still alive because people quit when they were ahead. They should continue to kill that guy. They once you start killing him, keep killing him. They just he looks pretty dead. Let's stop.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a lesson that
gave up. Oh, wow.
That Donald Pleasance should have, handed down, because in the first movie he shoots him, he falls out a window. He talks to Laurie for a while.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead. Don't worry about it.
Then looks out the window. Oh, shit, he's gone.
No.
Burn him, put him in a wood chipper. You're never done killing this guy.
Yeah. And then drink him. Turn him into a smoothie and drink him so you know where he is.
And then take him to the urinal full of ice.
That's where mine went to.
I hope that was in the show. I hope that was in the show.
If not, cut it out.
Yeah, it's funny for us. But it turns out, even though that she's eager to kill him because he's not dead still by the end of the last movie, much like the very first film from the 1970s, the next one, the final in this trilogy, actually takes place 4 years later.
Yeah.
But the movie won't explain what Michael was doing during the interim because, per Green, the director, quote, "I don't want to see where Jaws goes to sleep at night when I'm watching a shark movie," end quote. Now, all that said, though, the plot of the film is going to address the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, then he was socially distancing for the last 4 years. Then question answered, right?
I mean, but he wears a mask all the time, so you think,
Well, he doesn't want to do anyone any harm by making them contract the virus. He wants to wait until they're well and then kill them.
Oh, it's not one of those KN95 masks.
No.
Maybe. Yeah. I think COVID was taking the spotlight away from Michael Myers. And so he realized he needed to wait till it died down.
COVID was killing more people than Michael Myers.
Nobody was out walking around to kill because they were all in the house. He had to wait till they came back outside.
Oh, right.
All these things make sense.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know what, we joke, but maybe that's what it is. Well, we per some comments that the director made to Uprocks, we have some more information that maybe confirms or clarifies what he's talking about here. The world, as he points out, was very different in 2018 when the last film took place versus the world where it was shortly thereafter, because by 2020 is when all shit went upside down and the pandemic started up. And so he says the characters are not only dealing with the trauma wrought by Myers at the end of that, or in the the events of the last film, but they're dealing with, quote, a worldwide pandemic and peculiar politics and another million things that turn their world upside down, end quote.
Peculiar politics.
Yeah.
What a great way to put that.
Yes.
So, we're not a political show, but
no, we're not.
All right, maybe we should leave it at that. We'll save being political for a few stories from now, or we just blow our shit up right now. Let's just blow it all up. You need to know where I stand, and you could just not listen anymore, and other people can listen. But
they are peculiar. There's no doubt.
But I was thinking maybe Michael did come out with the mask on and someone yelled at him, "You're a mask wearer, you're a whatever dragon lizard person."
Right. They called him a sheep.
What about your individual freedoms?
Oh my God, I would love that Michael Myers shows up somewhere and someone starts to shout him down because of their freedoms and he just machetes their head off.
See, here's the thing. I'm really happy about this 4-year gap because ostensibly, spoiler alert, Halloween Ends. It suggests we're going to kill Michael Myers finally.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily buy that, knowing how franchises work. But that being said, this opens the door to go back and do films in that gap later if you want to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's smart.
Look at the
yeah.
Ferris Bueller where they took that parallel turn we talked about, where it's like, oh, we'll look and see what the guys in the garage did with the car. We can go see what Michael Myers did during the pandemic. He's at the park by himself on a swing. He's hanging out at the mall where nobody is. Anything. Make it a comedy. Have fun things. Do that 4 years right.
He's pretending to be a rescue, an ambulance driver,
first responder.
A first responder.
He's trying to buy toilet paper.
Trying to vote. Like
It's not going great for Michael. He's like, I'm ready for it to end. Come on, Lori. Finish me.
Right.
I can relate.
Instead of wielding the stabby weapon, she's just going around coughing on people.
Nice.
And then he's like, now the waiting game begins. Evil fucker.
Stand by and watch you die slowly.
Yeah. That's fun. All right, hey, another 1980s news. As reported by the New York Times, sadly, Rami Hunt Revson, the creator of the Scrunchie, has died at 78 years old.
Yeah.
So someone created everything, right? I mean, things don't just spontaneously. What was that? Remember when we were kids? We were taught or about this idea that what was it called? Not spontaneous creation, where how erroneously generations ago, what science was as sophisticated. We thought that rats spontaneously appeared where dead bodies were, that sort of thing. Remember that? Or flies.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we learned,
You don't understand the science.
Yeah, spontaneous generation. Okay, so why am I saying?
generation. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Rami. This is not a good way to honor you. My point is, you never would, you never really stop and think all the folks that are responsible for the various things that we actually benefit from, including this one item from the 1980s that is still around and very popular today. But Rami Hunt Revson is the woman that invented the Scrunchie. As it goes, she was renting a house in Southampton, New York, in 1986. Stressed out from a recent divorce from a Revlon heir, John Revson, when she conceived of a hairband to hold a ponytail without damaging the hair. So, and she was determined. Her friends were, they're in the Hamptons is part of Long Island in New York, a beautiful area of the country where they have a beach there. Her friends were frolicking on the beach, trying to encourage her to come out of this house to join them. And no, instead she rented or she bought rather a used sewing machine and got to work trying to figure out how she could make what ultimately was a Scrunchie.
Yeah. I had no idea.
Not having ever had a ponytail cat is having something that can hold your hair without damaging it. A coveted is a desired thing to have, I guess.
I got to tell you. Well, the way they make ponytail holders nowadays, it's easier. It's nicer on the hair.
Okay.
But back then, it was these kind of rough, like I remember rubber bands in my hair, actually.
Which I would think would pull your hair, wouldn't it?
Oh my goodness, terrible. Those were terrible. And then the next level up wasn't much better. They were rough and there was a metal piece on them.
Oh,
and,
right.
Yeah. But look what I still have.
From
Kat's got her Scrunchie.
From the 1980s?
I pulled out. It's either late 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an original, though. I still have it. The elastic is starting to go a little, but
you got to twist it an extra time to have it hold now, 2 or 3 times around.
Yes,
right?
Definitely some extra
It's not
twisting
under warranty,
going on.
so maybe.
You can have it retreaded. You put new elastic in it. I'm sure.
There you go.
So originally, Revson called her first incarnation of this was called the Scrunchie.
Yes.
Spelled Scunci.
What did you just call me?
Hey, Scrunchie.
Hey, you watch your mouth talking Scrunchie up in here.
Yeah. And actually, that was the name of her poodle, which is where she got it. Which is funny because
cute.
Scrunchie, which is what it became, sounds like what it should be called.
That's right. Yep.
Yes.
But within a year of her design, she got a patent which protected how it looked, but not how it was made. And she did start to license it. But the problem was when finally the product reached the market, it was very popular, and her licensee couldn't make enough to meet the demand.
Right.
So copycat manufacturers sprung up, flooding the market and creating what ultimately be called Scrunchies. She wound up, clawing back these the different deals that this licensee had, ultimately having to sue them. The licensee wound up paying her $1 million per year for about a dozen years, the lifetime of the license there.
Wow. For this.
Sounds good to me.
Wow. Just wow.
Imagine what I could do with $1 million a year if I just knew how to sew.
Exactly.
That's all that's holding me back. That's all. Otherwise, if I knew how to sew, home free.
Yeah. Now, the company that, the licensee that she had that was working with these, copycats, eventually changed its name to Scrunchie International. I mean, that sounds like a lawsuit right there, too. But
It's infringing on my dog's name.
On the dog, yeah.
And I think I've seen Scrunchie in stores. Scrunchie selling scrunchies. I'm pretty sure that's what always confused me about.
Yes.
How do you get that out of them?
I think you're right. And they make all sorts of hair.
See, I always just thought it was like an
apparatus.
intentional misspelling. Like you go to the flea market and you buy Energizer batteries, but they're called Energozers. Like they change a couple of things unnecessarily. It's like, you're already breaking the law. Just call it Energizer. Quit lying. Scoonchy Scrunchie.
Energozers. Enter Gozer is also in the Ghostbusters script.
That's right.
The stage direction. Hey, in other 1980s news, according to Gizmodo, while Indiana Jones 5 still doesn't have a title, they've seen the first footage of the film.
Ooh.
So if you don't know, just last week, the D23 Expo took place. That's where Disney, showcases all of its upcoming titles, television, film, any kind of media that they have that they want to promote. And we're talking about their properties, Lucasfilm, Marvel, whatever other brands,
Isn't it? It's like the Comic-Con for Disney. Like if that's what you love,
Yeah.
D23 is like Disney Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it always D23? Or like, was there a D22? And this was D23?
It's always called that. It's called D23.
And D24 is next year?
No, it's always, no.
D23?
It's always,
Okay.
it's Disney's full of mythology and
It's
names.
the
It
year-
means something, right?
The year that Walt Disney came to California was 1923. I believe that's what it is.
Okay. I knew it had
Thank
some
you.
meaning. Everything has a mythological connection in all of Disney lore, whether it's inside of stuff or in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So among the many different sneak peeks that attendees were treated to, folks got to see some footage from the forthcoming sequel in the Indiana Jones franchise. And I could report some things. If you don't want to know anything about it, and this probably will make it into the trailer eventually, I would imagine. There's no real plot sort of busters in this list, but some different things that were described by the folks at Gizmodo having watched this. They say it was very fast paced. They saw images of carts racing through the streets, divers going underwater. Indy is still teaching. There's a fight scene on top of a train.
He's probably got tenure by now, so that makes sense.
You can't fire me. He's treating everybody terribly in the footage. He's trying to get sent to the rubber room. Remember that? Is that only in New York where they have that? Whatever. If you're really horrible, but you got a union job, they just stick you in a room in the school and you don't have to do anything. You just report there every day.
Oh, I went a totally different direction for what's the rubber room.
Oh.
Like, what's happening in there?
That's where they make the
like a
scrunchies.
vending machine on the wall or
That's where the bad scrunchies are made that pull your hair out.
Energozers all come from the rubber room.
They have the bad teachers with used sewing machines inventing things. Most interesting to me is that Indy's old friend Sala is back, and Sala needs Indy's help for one last time.
Getting the band back together.
Now, they also mentioned that there's a scene where it seems like Indy is de-aged, and it's set in World War II. So they described it as a flashback. Now, what I'm looking forward to, Kat, you'll remember months ago we talked about Doomcock
Yes.
and how I hate this dude.
Yes.
And all of his nonsense predictions that were given to him by an insider. I can't wait till this movie comes out and they're all wrong.
And they're all false.
Including, I thought Kat was going to swear for a second. And they're all false. Yeah.
That forgerer. That falsifier.
So in June of next year, we got that to look forward to.
And the movie, by the way. There's the movie, but then there's rubbing it in the face of this guy.
Right.
The movie, whatever. The movie serves a purpose for me to funnel my hate. In the footage, Indy says, I don't believe in magic, but a few times in my life I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe, it's how hard you believe it, end quote. And I don't even understand that quote. It's not what you believe, it's how hard you believe it.
Yeah, I'm still working my way around that.
It's not with great power comes great responsibility.
I'm trying really hard to believe it.
Yeah.
And it's not do or do not, or try, try. It's tricky.
Do or do not. Nurture.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is along for some of the footage, and at some point the two of them are in a bar and people ask how they're related. Indy says, jokingly, according to Gizmodo, that he is her godfather. Now, I've seen other articles saying we know Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character's relationship to Indy now. He's her godfather. Not suggesting that he was joking, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she's Salah's daughter. That would make explain a relationship that would make him be the godfather.
Even though the last Indiana Jones with the Crystal Skull garbage, I'm still looking forward to this.
Okay, so now I know how you feel.
I mean, hoping they can redeem themselves. Like, now they do things better with these revival sequel-y things than they have any time in the past. So I'm hoping to just, like, we talked about Beverly Hills Cop 3, just pretend it wasn't a thing. Like, maybe I could pretend Crystal Skull never happened. Because it was like, there were parts of it that were like, yay, Indiana Jones, but it was just so goofy and the tone was wrong. I thought that's me.
I was wondering how you felt about Crystal Skull, John. I know how Will feels.
Wonder no more. What about how do you feel, Will? Same? Similar?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I wanted to love it. I'm a huge fan. I didn't like it at all, really. It didn't. It felt like we were talking about Beverly Hills Cop 3 or Matrix 2 and 3. It didn't feel canon to me. Like, it felt like a fever dream.
Yeah. I haven't rewatched it yet. I saw it in the theater and I've not rewatched it yet. Maybe I should. Maybe there's more to it that I'm looking back through hatred,
But even
like,
what does that say if you have to watch it on repeat viewings to like it?
I saw it one time at home.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's like people say, well, you got to read this book at least to the 4th chapter to really like. No, you got to interest me in the 1st chapter. Don't make me work to see if it's to see what you have to offer. Anyway,
that's a good point.
Crystal Skull, boo. Indy 4, 5, whatever the hell it is, I'm ready.
I saw Crystal Skull.
Did you like it
recently?
Probably about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago at home. Yeah. I can't say I was impressed. I didn't hate it. I didn't, I didn't despise it the same way that
how big of an Indy fan are you, though? I mean, are you invested in Indiana Jones or you just you like it?
Oh, okay, I love Indiana Jones. Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah, I love Indiana Jones.
All right.
And it was, I don't like it nearly as much as the original.
Yeah. One of the things that just bothered me about it was even just the effects of it. Like, nothing was practical. When they did those first 2 movies, they were traveling around the world. There was a sense of danger. Yeah. The stunts were practical. The sets were, whatever. I want to do an episode, we talked about this a long time ago, but there were several indie scripts that never were.
Really?
One written by Chris Columbus, maybe more than that, written by Chris Columbus. A bunch that were going to be sequels for Indiana Jones that never happened, and parts of them were borrowed and used in other of the Indiana Jones films. And including a Crystal Skull script that, by all accounts, seems like it would have been better, but George Lucas insisted on doing it as wacky.
That sounds like a show that's got to happen June of next year when Indy 5 comes out. I mean, clickbait.
2 things.
Absolutely.
One episode complaining about Doomcocker, shoving it in his face, his lying face. Another episode, the scripts that never were. Okay, cool.
All right.
Most fitting in our real world is perhaps the exchange between Salah and Indy elsewhere in the footage, where Salah pines over bygone days, saying, "I miss waking up every morning wondering what wonderful adventure that day will bring us," to which Indy says those days are come and gone. Because in addition to the footage, an emotional Harrison Ford appeared on stage saying, quote, "This one is fantastic." And Fighting Back Tears said, "We have a very human story, a movie that will kick your ass." But also noted, "I will not fall down for you again," end quote. So his days look, he's old enough to probably be able to say that sincerely now. And
I take him at his word. Yeah.
So look, even though Harrison Ford says he's out. I remember John just a couple of weeks ago was saying that the movies are not done. There's money to be made. They're going to have a new actor or some way to do it. We put this question to folks out on Facebook and our Twitter and Instagram. And Chris over on Facebook, Christopher says, with regard to whether or not someone should take over again, he says, absolutely, Harrison Ford is great, but no way should the character, quote, die because he can't do it anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil a recent movie where they did that. But I agree with them. Yes. For all those reasons. Hey, our old buddy Ray on Twitter responded saying, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio should play. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's been pitching that for years. I don't get that. There's something very childish about Leonardo DiCaprio. He's just not, he doesn't seem like a grown-up to me.
And his face is so punchable.
Well,
oh my.
That might work for the character.
Have you seen his little weaselly squint? I mean,
yeah.
That's a pretty weaselly, squinty, punchable face for a multi-million-dollar Hollywood superstar.
I was just going to say he's not really swashbuckling, but wow, okay.
Yeah.
And Jeremy over on Twitter says it'd be cool if one of the young indie actors took on the role. Okay, well, young indie actors. Well, River Phoenix isn't around anymore.
Yeah, he's not going to do it.
So it would have to be the actor who played him on the young Indiana Jones. And he would have been great. I think he would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would have to be the.
But he's got to be 60 now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's our contemporary. At least he's probably in his mid-50s.
That's right.
His mid-50s or so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would think so because he was maybe 12 or 13 when he played the younger version of the Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, I think he was probably a little older, but yeah.
A little older. Okay. Yeah.
And the actor who played him in the young Indiana Jones was the Boondocks guy, Sean Patrick Flannery. So he's like our contemporary, although I think he's a pretty rugged looking dude, handsome fellow. He could, I never cared for him as the young Indiana Jones, but maybe as the old Indiana Jones.
And who was the guy that co-starred with Indy in the Crystal Skull movie? What was
oh gosh,
big deal now.
Shia LaBeouf?
Well, I'm not suggesting him. I'm saying I got the feeling they were setting him up to be a successor when the Crystal Skull was out.
That ending,
but not a good fit. I didn't think. I think they were trying it, and it just kind of fizzled.
You remind me. I can't wait to see how they retcon him out of existence because right. There's no way he has a son in this movie,
right?
Yeah. Or they're just going to forget about it entirely.
Yeah. It'd be great if the movie starts with him waking up from a fever dream, like I was saying.
Oh my God. I dreamed I had a son, and I dreamed about Terminator Genesis. And neither happened.
And he has a book open to like a chapter that talks about the Crystal Skull, the myth of it.
There you go.
He was reading right before he went to bed and had a fever.
It was a fever dream, right? He had bad dates, and he had a fever dream.
Bad dates. And then Michael Myers comes out because now the fever's over. So now did we talk about Michael Myers already? Yeah, we did. All right, whatever. All right, there you go.
He was first, so yeah.
It's all connected.
I
when he made that, he said, "Look, this is fantastic. We have a human story. It's going to kick your ass." I immediately went looking for what did he say about Crystal Skull.
I was curious too. Did you find anything?
It was like it was scrubbed off the internet. I challenge anyone to find an interview with him talking about Crystal Skull. Either he didn't do it, which tells you something right there.
Which,
or they got some powerful folks over at, well, they probably do, at Disney/Lucasfilm.
Harrison Ford does not hide his emotions well in interviews, and he does not suffer fools easily. So if he's unhappy, like you see it, he sits in interviews he doesn't want to be in. He's like, grumble, grumble, whatever. He's snarky. So I'm with you, Will. I'm like, what did he say about the last one? Because did he say the same baloney? But the fact that I think he's not capable of that kind of subterfuge. Like if he really liked it, he would say so. If he really didn't like it, he just wouldn't say anything. Like he would just kind of like I'm not appearing there because this is garbage. I think it bodes well for the film.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and to your point, John, they probably kept him out of press junkets because they knew he couldn't keep it to himself.
Yeah. Harrison is going to just blow this film out of the water. If we send him to Leno, send him to Letterman. No.
Don't let him talk.
Yeah. Embargo. Take him a vacation to France. Get out of here. We don't want you here. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this in a movie theater with a whole bunch of other people that also are excited to see it, like on opening weekend. And I'm looking. And I don't need to know what it's called. I don't need to find out till that day. Even
we do know Indy 5 enough. That's enough to get me there. Tickets sold.
If Crystal Skull couldn't keep me away, I'm going.
Even that couldn't.
One of the coolest things to come out of D23, if you haven't seen it, is a photo of Harrison Ford and his Temple of Doom co-star Kiwi Kwan posing together for the first time, as Kiwi said on Kiwi Kwan put on his Instagram, I believe, reunited after 38 years. So it sounds like maybe they hadn't seen each other since Temple of Doom, and he was a kid. Young boy.
Well, they probably didn't travel in the same circles. He left acting, right? Well, Harrison Ford stayed in Hollywood, and I mean, unless he was a kid, they're not going to be best friends, right?
Yeah.
So
totally different. Yeah. Yes,
it was just, at that time. Hey, I'm going to go hang out with my 12-year-old buddy. Are you now? Right? You're not going to do that. Yeah, different circles. That was neat to see, though, wasn't it?
I love that picture. They both look so happy.
It occurs to me if Everything Everywhere All at Once came out before production on this, he probably would be in it. Don't you think?
There'd be a strong probability. Yeah.
Did we say he was Short Round? You said the actor's name. I don't know if we said that or not.
His co-star from Temple of Doom. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
You're right. Short Round.
That's okay. Yeah.
Short Round.
Yeah. And and to that end, he's getting other jobs now. He was just cast in Marvel's Loki season 2.
That's awesome.
Hey, finally in 1980s news, per Forbes, Disney's Little Mermaid backlash has reached insane heights. I can't help myself. Look, I'm glad this is a 1980s movie so we can talk about this because this kind of stuff drives me nuts.
Yes.
Among the new trailers released during D23, we got our first look at the upcoming live-action remake of 1989's Little Mermaid. Look, the film's been involved or engulfed in controversy ever since it was first announced that, and this is funny, I have to make sure I say it right, Halle Bailey.
Right, because you don't want to say I think it's Halle Berry, right?
Yeah, Halle Bailey. That would be really crazy if they cast Halle Berry. And then maybe I'd be like, well come on, that's weird.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Although maybe I'd be a hypocrite then. Am I an ageist then? I don't know.
I don't know. It depends. Halle Berry, shells or no shells? It depends.
Yeah, exactly. And she's no shells in that Shark, whatever is that movie? That movie with the past with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Travolta, I think. Sharkwire.
We just made up a movie.
What's the plot? Let's do a treatment. Let's phone it in. We have contacts. Sharkwire.
We need no shells. Halle Berry.
Can we get back to the Little Mermaid now, please?
Right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Speaking of children's cartoons, Halle Bailey was okay. So the film's been people have been up in arms ever since Halle Bailey was announced as the titular half woman, half fish in 2019. The 80-second trailer for this film has inflamed a new level of ire that we have not seen among the least evolved of us. Look, most of Disney's live-action remakes receive criticism for one reason or another, usually because they're lame. I don't know why you'd want to remake Lion King as looking like real animals doing cartoon stuff. Now, the Aladdin one was pretty good, actually.
I'm looking at you, Pinocchio. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Good.
This thing. Oh,
Beauty and the Beast was fine, but
Beauty and the Beast was good.
Yeah, it was fine. That was probably the best one until I think Aladdin. So I can get why you'd be pissed at this, but if you're pissed at the fact that they cast a non-white actress to play a fucking mermaid, am I going too far to say you must just be racist? Is that it? Just bottom line, you're racist, right? I mean,
there's no other way to say it. No other way.
Unless you've been mad, I guess, at every time a white person has played a person who's not white. If you've been mad at all those times, then okay, maybe you got an argument.
You bought yourself some leeway. Is that what you're saying?
Right, yes. Consistently, if you've been, consistent. So
the trailer has been flooded with 1.5 million dislikes from angry fans, despite the fact that YouTube removed its dislike function. So apparently there's a extension you can get for Google that allows you to dislike videos.
So people,
and if you have that extension, you could see people's dislikes. Google owns YouTube.
So some people wanted to dislike it so badly that they went out of their way.
A Chrome extension that allows.
I need to find a special avenue to express my displeasure for this irrational reason.
So if you have that, you can see that people are upset.
Go download it, you bitter shits.
Right. I am happy to say my exposure to the unhappiness over this, I've has only been like in the form of support for it, like exuberant support, and of the casting of a brown-skinned person. It's just all I've seen is support.
Oh, good.
But the exuberance has the clear intent of trying to counteract something else, the negativity. And so I know it's there. I guess that tells you about my Facebook feed. I don't know what it tells you.
Yeah, your self-curated bubble that you live in, Kat. Everything is wonderful for Kat. Well, good for you. You know what? Happiness.
Yeah. But I know it's there. And of course, I saw some of it mentioned in the article that we read for this. Right. There's a great quote in there. It said, "After all, this movie was made for children, not embittered adults. And I'm not sure why grown men would think otherwise."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, is it mostly men? Is it mostly men?
That's what I'm wondering. It sounds like
adult men?
The assessment in in this article. So what do you guys know? Like, have you seen where the negativity is coming from?
I don't know the demographics of it. I didn't haven't paid attention to that. No.
Okay.
But the fact that they say it's mostly white men, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised
checks out.
either.
Yeah, I have the receipts. I did the math. That makes sense. 3 little points that I want to make. The first, like you said, Will, remaking these Disney animated films, especially if you largely just do it with animation, what have you done differently other than make it more realistic looking animation? The Lion King is a perfect example. Like, they used to be cartoon animals. Now they're higher resolution cartoon animals. They weren't real animals, right? So that's that.
Right. It's another cartoon.
Yeah. You know, the second is that casting by race should make zero difference unless the role you're casting for has a racial component, right? Sure. If I'm doing Pocahontas, you don't cast Pocahontas as an Asian man, right? That's not the point. That's not the story. The story is about a Native American woman. So that makes sense. Well, that's the wrong race for a mermaid. There are no damn mermaids, so nobody knows what color they are. Maybe they're all purple. You don't know.
Right.
And finally, we talked recently about remakes and continuations and reboots and all that thing. The beautiful thing is, if you don't like that, the original one is still there for you. Ignore this one.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't buy a ticket. Speak with your dollars. Don't go, internet dumbass bomb the trailer because you think it's going to make a difference. The movie's coming out. Don't worry about that. Go watch The Little Mermaid. I tell you, the people that are bitching about it don't give a shit about The Little Mermaid. They just don't like that this Little Mermaid doesn't match the cartoon. And anyway, I'm done. That's all. That's all I had to say about it.
Here.
Yeah.
I saw a great tweet that Linda Carter put out.
What a delight.
And she said, people are mad that the Little Mermaid is black. The lady who is also a fish, who lives under the sea, whose best friend is a talking crab.
That was all okay. I was fine you had me up there until we got,
It is weird that we do this thing, right, as humans where, and I'm talking about the people that are complaining mostly, is that since there is one already and it's a work of fiction, this one is somehow tied to it, even though it's it's a whole separate thing. There's no other connective tissue other than it is also the Little Mermaid.
Right.
So the fact that that's even
based on the same original material.
So the fact that that doesn't create a precedent. It's the same reason people were upset about the 2016 Ghostbusters. Now it's women. It ruined my childhood, blah, blah, blah. To John's point, it has nothing to do with the other one. Yeah. It's weird how we connect them though.
It is. I love that this exists though, because we do have our white Ariel. We already have that. And watching, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the reaction videos of these young girls of color seeing themselves represented, watching the trailer for the first time. And I kid you not, I had tears. It hit me really hard seeing their reactions and their joy and amazement, because they were really astounded to see themselves looking back at looking back.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
And I saw like you're saying, suggesting Kat, I saw like a compilation of a bunch of different ones, and it was all that expression was that, or some of them were even just overtly saying, they look like me. That's me. Well, and I think unless you have been on the other side of that, you can't really understand. Unfortunately, you can't teach empathy,
Right. That's early. That's early stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we just lost the wonderful Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura on Star Trek. And there were so many testimonials about so many people who were inspired by seeing themselves represented in media. Right. And all the good that has come of that, all the science improvements, all the scientists, all the people who joined NASA, who became, studied medicine. And what's wrong with inspiring another group of people? Nothing. I don't know about you, but I like living in an educated, informed society, and I think it would be cool to have more people inspired. I think it's great.
Yeah. Yes. And while video, the trailer had 1.5 million dislikes, as I pointed out, as of at least this reporting here, the most popular of the videos that Kat referred to has 4 million views.
Awesome.
All right, hey, now that we've lost half of our listeners. Shook them loose with the wheat and the chaff or something. Let's say that was 1980s. All right, hey, if you like the show, here's a free way you can help us. Seriously, like the episode. Subscribe right now on the platform that you're listening. Follow us on Facebook. Write a review. All those things. Free and seriously.
But that stuff is so expensive, though, isn't it, to do those things?
But wait, John, there's more. No, there's not more. I mean, there's more ways to help us, but they all cost $0.
Why wouldn't you do that?
And they take seconds.
Ridiculous. I know.
And
crazy.
The impact is
do it.
Huge. All right. Hey, like we mentioned, we're going to talk about, so look, this, did we mention this? We did mention this. So we did this before, and it was fun. And this is a fun thing to do. We don't have, when some of our other episode ideas are still percolating. The research team hasn't turned in their research yet. So we've got, again, we've got the top 5 songs from today, right? So the songs that are top 5 right now, what we're going to do is play 30 seconds of these songs.
Okay.
We each have a buzzer, and I don't remember how we did this. Do we have, if we get to the 30 seconds without all of us, or is it 2 of us? How many buzzes can you have and the song survives?
The rules were sketchy.
Yeah, like one of us would
fluid and flexible.
They were at Will's discretion.
Malleable. I think. All right. Why don't we say this? You need, if it gets 2 buzzes, it's out. Is that what?
That's fair.
I think majority
buzz.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah,
because I remember
buzzes.
One of us.
Yeah,
would
me. I buzzed almost all of them. You guys,
I'm out.
You guys liked some songs. I was like, ding ding, bah. Nope. I don't like harpsichord, bah, or whatever.
Falsetto.
So, all right. So if it gets 2 buzzes, it's out. But if we make it to the 30 seconds with 1 or fewer or no buzzes, then we're going to say, all right, this is a certifiable hit, as we determined.
All right.
The kids have their shot, or whoever's listening to these songs. And then, just for fun, I will tell you what song ranked similarly 40 years ago in 1982.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, here we go. All right, so the number 5 song, again, this is the top 5 from the Billboard Hot 100 for the week ending September 10th.
Okay.
The number 5 song is a song called Sunroof by Nikki Yor and Daisy, formerly Snocker. You got half of those words. All right.
Now named Scrunchie.
All right. Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock, or 30 seconds of the song. Let's see how far we get on this one. I am hovering over the buzzer. Oh, cat's out.
Out. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Yeah. I was close. Yeah, I was trying to give it a chance to breathe, but it wasn't grabbing me.
Oh, look,
that was nice of you.
Like we talked about this, maybe the song is fantastic 3 seconds from now, but you gotta get to it, kids.
We're not getting any younger. We got places to be.
You know, it's funny. Like, I remember our generation, they started talking about us being sort of your generation of instant gratification. You got your microwaves, you got your cable TV, whatever. Stuff brought us closer to being able to get us what we want. And certainly now it's even better. Our kids today, how are they listening to these songs and hanging in there?
No.
If you don't start with blah, I'm out.
Yeah. They say on YouTube, you got to grab them in the first like 10 seconds or they're gone. Yeah. And so that song rambled for I don't know how long before you guys buzzed it.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I gave it enough time, but I just sort of found it annoying sounding. Yeah. I didn't like I didn't like it from the start.
But if it's Spotify, I'm clicking next. I'm moving on. Next thing.
Well,
right? What do you got?
Speaking of Spotify, as of August, this song had been streamed 201 million times on Spotify alone.
The first 8 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Before I skip it.
It's like our downloads, John. Don't look into it past that.
Does that count? Sure, it counts.
Man, we get a lot of downloads. I don't know if they're listening. Don't look into it.
We don't know. What was the name of this song again?
Sunroof.
Sunroof. Okay.
It might be a great song.
I might give it another chance later. But
all right. So in 1982, the number 5 song was "Even the Nights Are Better."
Nice. There we go. Now you're talking. That's music, you damn kids.
I think that, look, let's be honest. If that was the song we were playing now, I probably would have buzzed it at the beginning. I don't know how Even the Night starts out. I probably would have buzzed it just because it's a slow song.
Now that I found you. Is that how it goes?
But see, thanks, Kat. Thank you, Kat, for doing that. Because now I remember. See, I would have buzzed it. Yes. I feel like it was in one of those compilations that they sold, of like love songs.
Probably. Even the nights are
like you'd hear that part over and over again.
I found you. Yeah.
It's stuck in my head already.
All right, here. Okay, here we go. Actually,
wait, who did it? Was that Air Supply?
Air Supply, yeah.
Air Supply, yeah.
Yep. All right, the number 4 song this week on the Billboard charts is "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush. 30 seconds on the clock, but I think we all know how the song goes. Now, you guys know normally I would have buzzed this already.
Well.
But you know better.
But I know where it goes, so.
Right. Yeah.
And we've talked about this.
If you're being honest with yourself, would you buzz it? That's the question.
I think I'm going to tell you right now, if any of these other songs on this list are from, we made it 30 seconds, certifiable hit.
Hey!
We made it to the vocals inside of 30 seconds.
See, you got to it.
Yep.
Why? Because that's an 80s song. Any 80s song on here, I'm probably not going to buzz.
You're probably not gonna. And I like that.
Yes.
I like how it starts
Some
out.
rhythmic thing.
There's a beat.
Yeah.
It's not rambling. It's not going, like the first song.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You an echo chamber? Did you have the mic turned down? What are you doing?
I just remember John doesn't like when guys feel like they're not articulating, not enunciating. You know?
There you go.
No.
Yes.
That was driving John crazy last time. This guy's like,
I remember that.
That mush mouth mumble crap.
Yeah.
No, I'm out.
Kate Bush's song, of course, was
grunge was not for me either. Bob Dylan's out.
in the very least. Yeah, I'm with you there. In the very least, the song gets through because it was originally released in 1985 as the lead single from Bush's album Hounds of Love. At that time, it reached number 3 on the UK singles chart and only number 30 in the US on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah.
It was Bush's first top 40 hit. Of course, now the song's had a resurgence because of its inclusion in Stranger Things Season 4. And although it's currently at number 4, it's peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it's even better than when it was originally released by leaps and bounds on the charts here. And I learned that it may have actually charted higher initially, but for the, quote, accelerated decline rule, end quote. So the organization that determines chart rankings, what they do is they discount old songs. So if your song is of a certain age, they count your listens for... yeah, just like records.
Even the rankings are ageist.
Get Halle Bailey in there. I don't know what that means. And they replaced Kate Bush with Halle Bailey also. Yeah, talk about ageist. It's called the accelerated decline rule. I feel like I have that rule applied to me every day I wake up.
Oh, no.
Oh, my back.
Right now,
the accelerated decline is killing me.
So, and the idea behind it is, what they explained is, and your song doesn't have to be, 40 years old, like Kate Bush's song. But what they said is if they didn't have this rule, someone like Ed Sheeran, I think they said, well, there was an even more exaggerated example, but Ed Sheeran would have had the top, number 1 hit for 50 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So what they do is they say after a certain amount of time, they discount however many listens you have by half.
Oh, wow.
But
so it's weighted in the favor of new material.
Right. Because they want to keep keeping it fresh.
Give them a chance. Yeah.
But someone like Kate Bush, whose song hadn't been on for 40 years, it's not the same kind of idea where she's, sort of steamrolling through. So her people, after the first week when it first appeared on the top, I think it was, like I said, it was first number 3, and actually it was number 2 in the UK.
Okay.
After that week, her folks appealed to this board and said, you got to turn this off for Kate. This doesn't make sense. And they did. And so she benefited from it in subsequent weeks. But,
nice. Yeah.
Probably she may have hit number 1 in the UK in the very least, had she not had that rule applied in the first week.
And such humility getting this second wind. She's been great. If you've seen her stuff, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. Good for her.
Number 4 in 1982 was Jack and Diane by John Cougar. He was still John Cougar then.
Oh, that one hits right off the bat. I would not have buzzed that one for sure.
If it started off with that.
I like that.
Yep. That's not getting buzzed. Ladies and gentlemen, 1980s now a cappella version of Jack and Diane. Available now on iTunes and anywhere finer records are sold.
All right, number 3, and I guess I should be honest with you guys, right? Number 3, I already know this song because my daughter, this is one of the songs she listens to.
Okay.
So I'm going to play it, and I won't tell you how I feel about it, but I'll
try and be honest.
Okay, you won't tell us. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to buzz honestly. I'll still buzz honestly. I can still do that.
Okay, all right.
Make it your first time.
This third song here is About Damn Time from Lizzo.
I love this song.
Kat, I'm keeping my opinions a secret.
I don't know if I know this song. We'll see.
Oh, yes.
This is a current song?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is like some 70s disco.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sensing this one's going to make it. Since everybody's dancing already.
I'm not buzzing. I can see the disco ball right now when I close my eyes.
I'm roller skating.
Yep.
John just did that show about roller
I want to hear the whole thing.
roller skating.
I want to hear the whole song.
All right, hey, that made it. And
I love that song. Love it, love it.
so how do you know it, Kat? You don't have a 12-year-old in your house right now.
No. How did I hear that song? I forget how. Somehow it popped up somewhere. I don't know, on Facebook or something. And I checked it out and I was in love.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I did know it by name, and I didn't recognize the beat, actually. It was just this cool disco beat. But as soon as I heard the vocals, I'm like, I think I have heard it.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you where or how, but I've heard it.
It's the lead single from Lizzo's 4th studio album, Special. The song reached #1 in the U.S., and it's her second #1 single here. And last month, just a couple of weeks ago, the music video won the MTV VMA for Video for Good, which is a category whose name has evolved over the year, but it's a category that was once called like best video with a social message or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But the content of the song is very, positive image, sort of life affirming.
Right. Having a positive image of yourself is #1.
Like Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah. And I didn't realize till this song that I'm a fan of Lizzo. She does a lot of like kind of upbeat, positive songs that make you want to.
Is this her kind of thing? I might have to check her out more. I mean, she wasn't on my radar really. It's just randomly heard this song but
no, it is her thing.
As an aside, I saw a picture of Lizzo in one of those articles we read wearing a scrunchie.
Yes, she was in it. Yes,
New York Times article. That's right.
Absolutely had a scrunchie on. I saw a that carpool karaoke with what's his face?
Gordon,
Who does that?
James Corden.
Yeah. He does that song with Lizzo.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome. You should check it out.
Cool. Yeah.
Very fun.
Online, Kat, I saw a lot of folks comparing this song, much like John suggested, to the many hits of Nile Rodgers and Chic.
Thank you. Yes, because that is exactly what I thought of the first time I heard it.
So in particular, folks pointed to Dance, Dance, Dance. And I want to play you the break. So there's a little break that comes early in the song where she changes it up a little bit. And this sounds also reminiscent of a different Chic song to me.
In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fat bit lust.
It's not exact, but it reminds me of something, certainly.
Now I know where I've heard it. It's on freaking TikTok and every short video on every platform. Okay. This is one of the samples you used, and it's that rap part, that little kind of that break in the middle that I hear all the time, that they're doing dance moves to. That's where I've heard it.
Yes, there's a TikTok dance, right? That's popular right now. What do you think, Kat?
Is it Good Times?
That's what I'm going with,
Yeah.
That's what I think of. Now, it turns out that there's a whole lot of folks who are... let me backtrack. So when I first heard this song, it was driving me crazy because, look, I did get that late 70s, early 80s disco vibe, Neil Rodgers, etc. But I felt like there was some hip-hop element to it that I couldn't place. And so I reached out to my friend Jamie over at Mr. Throwback Thursday. And these are two guys who their podcast, all it is talking about hip-hop. And within a few moments, he wrote back, world's famous Supreme team, Hey DJ. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this song, but immediately I was like,
I can hear it in my head. I can hear it in my head. Yep.
So when digging into the song, I then noted after that, one of the writing credits is for Malcolm McLaren. And if you don't know who Malcolm McLaren is, I'm not going to go into it too much, but he created the Sex Pistols among his many. He went from owning a shop that sold clothing in London to, in short, creating the Sex Pistols, providing clothing to New York Dolls, lots of things. But one of the things is once he was in New York and saw hip hop, he's like, I'll do that too. So one of the things he did was work with the World Supreme DJs to make some songs. And one of their songs is Hey DJ. And so he and the two gentlemen who are part of the Supreme team get credited as a writing credit for this one part, this one thing that's repeated throughout the song. And so I got an instrumental version of the Lizzo thing so you can hear it real clearly. It's this one piano element. That's it.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, that's the only thing that was taken. Because here's Hey DJ.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So for all that, I mean, I don't even know that I would go through wanting to pay royalties to somebody for using like 5 notes, but
yeah.
Right. Oh, wow.
Got the job done though.
You know, as I'm realizing as we go through this here, let's see. So far, 2 connections to the 1980s. Now, toss out that sunroof garbage. But running up the hill straight out of the 80s, and this has got strong ties to the 70s and 80s.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
We run the world.
Yeah. Yes. Number 3 in 1982 is Abracadabra by Steve Miller.
Yay! I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's one of the ones we performed, like when we pretended we were a band.
Oh,
my sister and I. That was on the.
Yeah, was that your magic themed thing? Wasn't there you had a theme. It was like, there was a couple songs you told us, and I was like, wait a second, there's a theme here.
There was Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Sky.
Eyes, yes.
And then, I know, but this one came along a little bit later. Right. It was part of our repertoire.
I can see, I had the 45 for Abracadabra, and I can see it's like an eyeball with like segmented rays of light coming out.
Ooh.
It's kind of, yeah.
Nice.
That would have to be the, is that the jacket or is that the actual label?
The jacket. The jacket for the 45.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it in my mind. Yep.
Very cool.
In your mind's eye.
Listen to that a lot.
Hey, all right, number 2 this week, or for the week ending, number 2 for the week ending September 10th in 2022, according to Billboard Hot 100, is Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. I've never heard of Steve, but let's see, number 2. It's got to be
good. Luck, Steve.
Got to be good.
Wanted me, I wish I knew.
I'm out. Everybody's out.
Yep.
No.
What is that?
Is it that sunroof guy again?
Shut up. And smack that noise out of your mouth.
It's everything that all three of us don't like about songs. Kind of mumbly thing. Me, it's like downbeat. Kat, what did you dislike about it most?
It was whiny, mushy and whiny.
Yeah. Definitely not.
All it needed was harpsichord.
Sorry, Steve. This is the second single from Steve's studio album, Gemini Rights, but it's a mainstream breakthrough for Lacy, becoming his first entry on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Oh,
good for him.
I want to show you something to you guys. Because again, I looked this guy up to see, you know, and I came across an image of him from his music video. And and so this is an image from his music video. Okay, it's actually 2 different images, but just so you can get a good look. Okay. And seeing his attire here, and he's wearing a tie over an S that seems to be hand painted on his shirt. Right? And as the video, you know, as he moved around, obviously the tie would move around. But it looks to me like I was thinking, is he trying to represent a dollar sign or something like that? Right?
So that's actually a tie? Because I thought it was just
no, it's a tie.
I thought it was a dollar sign too.
Yeah.
If you notice in the second on the right half, you could see he has a collar.
Yeah. Okay.
More clearly. Right. But it's a tie. So as a coincidence, I'm here thinking about this, right? And meanwhile, I put this little getting notes together about these songs for us today aside because the Dead Kennedys were on my mind.
Yes.
And so I Googled the Dead Kennedys. This is moments after this. This is the first picture that I see that comes up for Dead Kennedys.
Oh my.
You're kidding.
The next connection to the 80s.
The Dead Kennedys in 1980 had this same outfit.
Wow.
Long sleeve collared shirts with a black tie over an S painted on their shirts.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
That's kind of eerie.
Right? I was freaked out. But
wow.
And I can't even say it's something in my subconscious that I knew about Dead Kennedys.
That's not coincidence. That's too on point. I mean, the long sleeve white shirt, the thin tie, the painted S. It's all that's intentional.
Exact.
And apparently, this is something that Steve Lacy's worn in 2 videos. I think the one for this song, Bad Habit, and the video before it for a different song also. Yeah,
so
another
I can only
80s
assume
connection.
he's a fan. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I can only assume he's a fan of the Dead Kennedys.
You know, I couldn't find anything suggesting that. I did find one article where someone also observed, because after I saw that, I was like, what is happening?
Right. Yeah.
I saw another.
Or maybe someone just suggested to him, you know what, do something cool. This band called the Dead Kennedys you never heard of did this thing with an S and a tie.
I think they're dead, so you could do it.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah.
We'll dress you up like them.
They're not dead, by the way. Okay, number 2 in 1982, September 10th, the weekend of September 10th, is Eye of the Tiger, Survivor. Here you go, Kat.
I'm in.
Yay.
No buzzing.
All right. Okay, so number 1, weekend of September. Yeah, oh my God. Again, from the beginning, the jump.
Yep.
Yes.
Right away. How does it start? Because no, it's like digga.
Yes. All right. So number 1 is a song that, again, I must confess I've heard because my daughter not only has this, she has it on vinyl. But she got a few weeks ago. She was like, "I need a record player, and I'm going to start buying records." This is one of the records she has. It's
Sweet.
It's As It Was by Harry Styles.
We want to say goodnight to you.
buzz out.
It's okay.
Will.
I buzzed.
I saw John's.
I buzzed, but
I saw John's buzz.
Am I the lone buzz?
I'm not going to put it on my playlist, but I wouldn't turn it off.
Okay, so hey, that one made
it. John, what did you not like about it?
You know, so the beginning reminded me of Macklemore's Thrift Shop.
Oh,
because it's like, hey, Macklemore.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, so maybe there's going to be a beat coming in.
Yeah.
And then it sounded like a Christmas jingle. Like, it's like, ding, 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 ding.
You're not
like,
wrong.
Are there reindeer coming up soon?
That is so funny.
And it is, there are enough Christmas songs. I don't need a bunch more. And it just, not that I hate Christmas.
Funny.
I love Christmas, but yeah, it wasn't a hip hop song or a rock song that I'm hoping to hear. It was a kid talking and then sleigh bells. That wasn't it.
Yeah, it definitely, for me, it made me more curious. Like, what? So it made me want to hear more, not out of, it didn't grip me. It was more of I really need to understand what's going to happen here. So,
you're very kind. You're very kind to that song.
I think I would have buzzed it if it didn't come in with the boom ba do do ga do do
yes.
do ga. And
yeah.
it sounded so familiar to me. It drove me crazy for the longest time. What does this song sound like?
Okay.
And then finally, because I was like, this reminds me of an 80s song.
Wait. It does to me too. Hold on.
Wait, can I hear the song again and then try to
Yeah, can we hear the sample again? I think I know.
Yeah.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
Okay. I had a glimmer.
Right? And then it's gone.
Of what just popped into my head like earlier.
Oh, okay.
What was yours?
But then I have it again. Like it came back. Take on me a little bit.
Aha. That's what I heard. Aha, take
I
on
thought
me.
you were just agreeing like, aha.
Is that what you heard, Will? Yeah.
So check this out. So actually what happened was because I've told you guys this before, I am not good at trivia. When I try to think of something, it's like harder for me to remember often.
Yes.
It's got to be that thing like I kind of just, I know what it is. So I played this again. We've heard this song many times because my daughter loves it. I said to my wife, this is an 80s song. What is it? And my wife was good at this stuff. She said, it's Take On Me.
Nice.
Then I did some digging and a guy on TikTok not only confirms that confirms what we're already subjectively, I guess, agreeing, but he did an interesting breakdown with the rhythm of the notes is almost identical itself. So he plays the melody for each song on his keyboard, and in between you hear him clap out the rhythm of the notes.
Okay.
So you can hear how similar it is. It's almost just one or two beats off, like one, sort of notes off. Otherwise, it's identical.
Yep.
Wow.
And the timbre of the instrument in the synth is also very similar.
Very similar. Yeah.
Although slightly more Christmassy, I must say.
Yes, definitely Christmassy. Yes, we all agree.
I never heard Take On Me and went, ho, 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 Take On Me. Never have I thought that.
Yeah. And Chris Willman, the music writer for Variety, who was going to come on the show once until he ghosted us, noted that it also takes heavy inspiration from Depeche Mode. This is the lead single from Harry Styles' third studio album, Harry's House. Upon its release, it accumulated over 16 million streams on Spotify, earning Styles a Guinness World Record title for the most streamed track on Spotify in 24 hours by a male performer.
Oh my goodness.
And he just won 3 MTV Video Music Awards for the song as well.
Aha says you're welcome, Harry.
Aha.
Yeah.
Aha.
Ho, ho, ho.
Aho. Aho. That's
I see what you did there. You combined them.
And number one in 1982, around the same time that year, it was Hard to Say I'm Sorry by Chicago, which I'd have to struggle to think of how it
Wait, say it again? Which one is it?
Oh, I know what it is. Hard to Say I'm Sorry, yeah.
But I need you to know. Yeah, you got it.
Wait, but I need you to know? Where's the Hard to Say I'm Sorry part?
Say I'm sorry.
Is it? Maybe I'm singing a different song.
I think you're singing like Criss Cross, aren't you, Kat?
Maybe I am. Same
Hard
melody.
to say I'm sorry, but I'm really sorry that I did that.
Ho, 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 ho.
I think you guys are both kind of in the ballpark, though. That seems familiar.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Hard to say I'm sorry. Even the nights are better, is that lyric you're singing?
I'm sorry.
All right, see, now you remind me. I wouldn't have liked that song either. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm going to have to listen to it after.
All right, folks listening at home, how far did you go? Would you have liked any of these songs longer than the few seconds that some of them lasted?
And somebody's probably trying to sing or successfully singing that shit.
Yeah,
someone's going, you morons. The song goes like this. They're screaming at their phone or radio or whatever the kids listen on these days.
Oh, man.
All right, hey, that was it. So what else? So that's it.
Well, we'd like to let you know that our show is brought to you every week, thanks in part to our early adopters like Kathy Burke, Rick Parker, and Karen Flieger.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you especially to our Secret of Our Success Level Patreon supporters, John Henderson, Craig Coletta, John Kaminsky, Marcus Taylor, and Tony Great.
Awesome.
And we know some of you listening right now would love to hear us announce your name. And you can make that happen by going to patreon.com/1980s now.
Yes.
And you can even tell us which one of us you want to say your name. How about that?
Which one? Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's a bonus perk. That's good. You put it on a list of perks for Patreons. You get to determine who says your name.
I don't know, I want to hear Harrison Ford say my name. All right, we're going to have to learn how to do impressions.
I want to hear future Robert say my name.
Future Robert's on the table? All right. We should come up with a list. Future Robert.
Rules of Patreon.
What else? What other characters do you do, John? Future Robert. There's a Future Robert, but there was another one, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was another.
There was another. There was at least two because you were like, he does two. He does that Hanna-Barbera guy, that scat dude.
Skooly wah wah wah.
Can you do that with a name? Maybe that would. I don't know. We'll give him a chance to work on it. Yeah. All right, hey.
Sign up on Patreon.
Yeah.
Sure,
well, look, send us $1 and we'll do it. We'll have John do it.
We'll make whatever noises you want with our face. It's fine.
We'll have John read the whole list next week in that voice.
All right, hey, we will. And next week, and that's when we'll do it. When we talk to you again next time on 1980s Now.
Until next time.
Bye-bye now.